This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
And now it's time for our main event, the Royal Rumble. We know the story. Hunter's going to return and get the win in 69 minutes and 22 seconds. Eventually we see the Undertaker in there with the Hardys, and with the odds against him, the valiant heel veteran that he is, Undertaker not only took the twist of fate, but the Swanton Bomb as well. And then when they did the poetry in motion, he catches Jeff, throws him over the top at 18:23, and he dumped Matt at 18:54. Then Maven was in for the big spot of the match. Even before the spot, he got one of the biggest pops of the entire show. And Meltzer says, imagine if they had done something with him when he was hot. Either way, the Hardys are going to attack the Undertaker, even though they were eliminated, and they're going to get booed in the process. Lita is going to distract the Undertaker, who's cleaning house for like a fourth time. And then out of nowhere, Maven drop kicks the Undertaker out at 20 minutes and 19 seconds. And Meltzer would say this was actually the biggest pop of the show. Undertaker then destroyed Maven with a hard chair shot to the head and dragged his lifeless carcass to the popcorn stand. Meltzer would write, "Holy Tommy Rich, a young babyface getting over by carving up his forehead to garner sympathy. Undertaker took turns pounding a bloody Maven to death and eating popcorn. I was actually thinking that some people might actually think the Undertaker was putting Maven over because he went over the top rope before destroying him. The drop kick pop, legitimately. My God, what a pop, what a moment. Nobody could have called it. How does How does that come to be? Is that your call?
Yeah, we're looking to do a spot with Maven, and Undertaker was like, well, we could do this and get out there. It was a moment. It was a moment in time where you're laying everything out. You're getting to that point of the Rumble, and you want to have expected moments. You want to have moments that people will remember. And this was one of those moments. It was a big spot for Maven. It was an opportunity that just to put him in there with the Undertaker wouldn't have worked, but a shock, a surprise, a holy shit moment. That was a holy shit moment. And again, a testament to the Undertaker being able to take that moment. And beating the living shit was the highlight of Maven's entire career. Right there, that night in Atlanta, that night up in the concession stand in the lobby. Holy shit, it was a madhouse. People coming around us from every direction. And it was insanity because, you know, we looked at different things to do and where you could do them. We wanted to take people away for a minute from the in-ring action, and to go up and do that was risky. Security was an issue, but you know, we got it done and we had an escape route, and it was absolutely hell getting to that point, just trying to keep people back. I don't think anyone really anticipated the number of people that came, and it got a little overwhelming for security at the time, but we got through it and got it done.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. You know, if it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at SaveWithConrad.com. I'm going to play the pop here. So just to remind you, Undertaker's eliminated both of the Hardys, but Undertaker is distracted by Lita. Both Hardys come in, double team him. Eventually he gets the better of them. Here's the finish of that. And then the whole Maven thing.
Here. Right. So get the rest of the men out of the ring. Again. There went Jeff Hardy. Referee, make yourself useful. Try to contribute here to that. And Maven, oh my God! My God! Maven from coming up just eliminated the Undertaker. What? My God! I don't believe it. That is the biggest shocker I've ever seen at the Royal Rumble. What? You heard me right. Let me do it again. What? Maven just eliminated the Undertaker, and Maven cannot believe it. Maven? Not to say what the Undertaker must be thinking right now. Maybe you don't want to believe it because you may have made the biggest mistake of your young life.
And of course, the Undertaker climbs back in and the beating progresses. But dude, what a moment. Like, I still think to this day, that's one of the biggest WrestleMania or Royal Rumble moments in history. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. And you know that I never ever read the notes that you send me or whoever sends me. But I do have to point out in the notes, you didn't say it because you know that it's not true, but it's like, oh my God, the drop kick and then Undertaker kills Maven. Do you think this is why Undertaker was getting a bad rap on the internet then? Fuck the internet on that kind of shit. Undertaker made Maven.
Yes, he did.
He made Maven. So I'll go back to my point. It was the biggest moment of Maven's career. And at that point in time, that I don't know any other veteran that would have done that. And then again, by Maven getting his ass kicked by said veteran and said legend, that made him.
Yes.
That just goes to people that don't understand the business.
Such a cool moment. And that's not the only cool moment we got. I want to talk about another one. I briefly want to mention Austin would throw out Christian, Saturn, Palumbo, Val Venus, and Test. And then Triple H came out. And it took him like 90 seconds to make it to the ring. He's got the big entrance. And the people were even joking, hey man, he might get lapped by the next guy. Ultimately, they're going to trade a few punches. Of course, they were tag team partners the last time they were in the ring when the whole injury happened, tearing out the quad. So it's cool to see them facing off and then all of a sudden stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Hurricane going to chokeslam both Austin and Triple H at the same time is also one of the bigger moments in Rumble history, is it not?
Absolutely. And he almost had him. I thought for a minute, I thought that Hurricane was going to fucking snatch each one of them and just simultaneously dump them over the top rope. But I think he had a shoelace that was loose, which caused that not to happen.
Really such a fun moment where
it was awesome.
He grabs them both by the throat and they just look at each other like, what the fuck is this? It was so great. Is that a Brian spot or is that a Hurricane call?
It's just, that was something that we had in there. That was, a nice, fun spot.
Tremendous. Of course, once Hurricane gets thrown out, because sadly, he was not successful in his chokeslam attempt, these guys go back to pounding on each other. And then Farouk shows up and then Mr. Perfect is in next. Eventually Kurt Angle, who was getting what a lot of people thought was going to be maybe, the final 2 spot here. He's out. Angle ultimately tosses out Austin all by his lonesome. And, there's a big moment before, and we mentioned, Kurt's back and Goldust is back and all that, but there's the big moment where Triple H has been eliminated, or so they think. And of course he wasn't. He does the big pose, the big Hunter pose, and then makes the elimination. Hunter wins 69 minutes and 22 seconds. Probably the longest match in the history of the WWF, Meltzer would say. And he called it the best Rumble in years and gave it 3.5 stars. I think I would put like 97 still my favorite, maybe 92 second, but this might be my 3rd favorite Royal Rumble. Where does this one stack up for you?
Oh, definitely top 5. It was just so much fun. And there were so many little nuanced things in there that made it fun. And, you came out of the thing with the guy that you'd been building up for a while and in the rightful place. So it was great shit, man. It made Jericho, it made Hunter, it made Maven, Flair returning in his old stomping grounds and having a tremendous issue match with Vince. Outstanding. It's one of those that you come off on a high from, and was a lot of fun.
The final 4 were Hunter, Angle, Austin, and Perfect. And as a reminder, the XWF has Perfect under contract and they wanted him to be their champ. And he looked like a star here. He's put in the final 4. So he's presented like the main event, and it feels like this is going to be a big resurgence for him. And we know ultimately it didn't happen. How excited were you at the end of the night about, man, Kurt looked like Kurt tonight. We got Mr. Perfect back.
Well, it was nice to see. And again, that nostalgia is always great to see. It was it was nice to see all the guys returning. It's a nice nostalgia moment that people can go back, go, oh, and you got to see so-and-so. And people are like, they still wrestling? I don't watch anymore, but by God, did you see that Kurt Angle and that Triple H return the other night? I mean, I don't watch no more, but that kind of shit. So yeah, I thought it was great to have him back.
Chat me up about where you are once the Rumble is over. Like, did you know already, hey, we're going to go with Hunter and Jericho, and we're going to put Stephanie with Jericho, and we're going to go with Rock, Hogan, et cetera, et cetera. Did you have all that mapped out at this point for Mania?
No, we didn't have Rock Hogan. We definitely had Hunter and Jericho, and there was still a lot of debate as far as the NWO and what we were going to do there. So that really didn't pan out for a few weeks.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.